Alright, hello everyone and welcome to AEW Discussion. I'm hosting AEW enthusiast Dougie Doug, and today's episode I'm going to be discussing Dynamite September 6, 2023 edition. And after a successful all-out pay-per-view, AEW World Champion MJF would make his way to the ring and deliver a promo directed at Samoa Joe after they got into it at All Out. Jon Moxley would defend the International Championship successfully, and Chris Statlander would also successfully defend her TBS title. And with that, we'll go ahead and get right into the action, starting with Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus Ozzy Open. And despite winning the match, Jericho and Guevara are at odds, and this was something I saw on the internet, which was the idea of Guevara joining the Don Callis family, which certainly would be an interesting plot twist, and it would make sense. It would make sense that Callis, having failed to recruit Jericho, might try his hand with Guevara as a way to get back at Jericho. And as for the match, well, even in defeat, Davis and Fletcher impressed once again, proving that they can hang with top-tier competition. And while their win-loss record might not be the most impressive, Tony Khan has done a solid job of where he has positioned them, suggesting that he envisions a bright future for this team. And so, as a result, it is no reason to think that their time won't come sooner or later. After the match, Guevara expressing frustration, while him and Jericho kind of got into it, leading to a pull apart between the victors. Might the partnership be nearing its end? Possibly. Might Guevara be joining the Don Callis family? I don't know about that one, but it's certainly a possibility. And then you have a Grand Slam. They have a Grand Slam World Title Eliminator match, Trampa versus Roderick Strong, and the match was as good as expected by two guys with a proven track record in the wrestling industry. The outcome wasn't really in question, despite Tony Schiavone reminding people that Beretta did get a win at Dynamite 200, which, it's a nice win, but I don't know how exactly that was supposed to translate to here. Strong was the focal point, and Schiavone did note that Strong is, well, he's not really injured. He claims that he is, but it seems like he's milking this injury, and that is the first time that angle has been discussed on the show. And it's an interesting development in the story as Strong longs for the attention of Adam, going as far as to fake an elongated injury. Now, from a bad guy perspective, it allows him to get heat in the same way that Cowboy Bob Orton did in the 80s, not by using the brace, but by feigning injury when it benefits him. And despite the presence of Joe in the tournament bracket, Strong remains the favorite to win the whole thing and challenge MJF at Dynamite Grand Slam. There you have Swerve, Strickland, and Hangman Page. Strickland, he cooked Page here in this segment, criticizing perceived weight gain and accusing the former world champion of riding in the back seat, while the Elite Drive's all too happy to get by in this relationship with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. It was certainly an interesting direction to take, but one that adds a personal level to the feud. Both men are great in-ring competitors and can go on the mic when motivated. This was a great performance from Strickland, while Page's response should make for intriguing television. He recognized the moment and did not leave anything to chance. Great work by both guys, and this could be a great little feud for both guys who currently are on the outside looking in when it comes to the title scene, so what better way to keep these guys busy than feuding with themselves. Grand Slam World Title Eliminator Tournament, Darby Allin versus Nick Wayne, and this was a solid example of not only tough love, but also a guy like Darby Allin toughening up Wayne for the world of professional wrestling in AEW. Christian Cage and Luchasaurus attempted to throw these guys off their games by appearing mid-match and joining commentary, but that was unsuccessful. What it did do was ensure that the feud between those involved would continue, with Cage even hinting that Allin might not make it to the tournament semi-final match against Roderick Strong Saturday. Now, who knows if that will mean anything, or if Captain Charisma might affect Allin's pursuit of the title, but given the entertainment value of Cage, anything that keeps him an active part of the show is a good thing. And so before we get to concluding remarks, I do want to talk about MJF's promo segment, which was a great segment that intensified the issues between him and Joe, with the latter, MJF, looking to prove that he is anything but a kid to Joe, and the added element of the injured neck and everything with Cole and Roderick Strong hanging over it makes this probably the most interesting story in AEW, not to mention one of its best and most expensive. So in conclusion, a strong episode of Dynamite. After All Out, the company introduced new rivalries, kicked off a high-stakes tournament, and highlighted the world champion in a feud with a great veteran competitor. This stuff with Joe and MJF was great, but was matched, and depending on how you look at it, overmatched or outdone by what Strickland and Page accomplished with their in-ring promo. This was a show that was heavier on the promo side of things, but those segments weren't all for nothing, as they resulted in the escalation of known and effective programs or the introduction of new ones, which made them a vital part of the show. With extra eyes on AEW after All Out and, well, the controversies that would follow in recent weeks, or I guess All In, All Out, everything in between. Tony Khan and company scored a win with this episode. How it follows up will ultimately determine the immediate future of the promotion, which pertains to Grand Slam, which is what that world title tournament is all about. There's also another match to determine the number one contender for the AEW Women's World title coming up, I think next week, to determine who faces Saraya at Grand Slam. So and Grand Slam is coming up. AEW usually does a good job with that show, so you can look forward to that. And then there's also Wrestle Dream coming up in October, so which, not that far away, ladies and gentlemen. We are only in September. October is the next month up. And with that will conclude this episode of AEW Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.